So after accepting Islam in my room, I then wrote on Facebook directly after saying the Shahada, I have just became Muslim in my room. I actually said this exact sentence. A girl that I know actually commented and said, you have to go to the masjid. Which we know isn't true, but at that particular time I didn't know any better. So at this particular time, it was very late at night, maybe 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I Googled masjid. I found out that there was a masjid very close to my house, about a 5-minute walk. It actually was in the same parking lot as a church that I used to go. I didn't go to church there for Sunday. Rather, I used to go to that church on Wednesdays, because if you went to Bible study, they used to let you play in the gym and play basketball. So I used to go to this church only on Wednesdays, sit in the Bible study so we could use the gym, the workout equipment, and play basketball. So as I'm walking the very next day, I skipped school and everything. I skipped school. I'm walking there, and I'm like, wow, this place is, I never knew that this was a masjid. It's as if Allah just didn't allow me to see that into this moment. I used to go to this very same parking lot. I used to go to this kanisa, this church here, and commit shirk. And now, just a couple of days later, I'm going and I'm upon tawheed. I'm upon the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What an amazing journey that was. So I went to the masjid, and I'm thinking it's similar to church. 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Anyone that knows there's no salah at that particular time, the earliest salat al-dhuhr, maybe 11:30, 11:45. Since I've been Muslim, I don't think dhuhr has ever been before 11 o'clock. Depending on where you are, maybe in the world. So I get there around 9 o'clock in the morning. And of course, I found the masjid to be closed. But I'm not leaving. I'm saying I'm going to sit here until I see somebody. I don't even know if anyone's going to come. But I put my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before I even knew what tawakkul was. I put my trust in Allah azza wa jal before I even knew what that even was. So I waited maybe 3 or 4 hours. Maybe until the time of Salat al-Dhuhr. And then a woman comes. A woman, she comes. So I say to her in English, excuse me, I want to be Muslim. I'm trying to go into the masjid. This woman, لا تتكلم لغة الإنجليزية. This woman doesn't even speak English. So she had no idea what I was saying. So she kept, pointing. We were in front of a door. She kept pointing to another door. I'm thinking, why? There's a door here. I didn't understand the concept of, this is the women's entrance and this is the men's entrance. So she kept pointing to this door. And I'm like, what's going on with this woman? So I go around and I go in. And I see that the men are actually already praying. The reason why I didn't see them was because I was in front of the women's entrance. And a lot of the women, I guess they didn't go to this particular masjid. So I go in. And the men are already praying. They're praying dhuhr. I come in, and of course I just sit directly down because I don't know how to pray. I don't know anything. So imagine you're Muslim. Imagine you're late to the prayer. You walk in, you see somebody sitting down. You can be like, yo, what are you doing? You're supposed to be praying. This actually happened to me. A man comes in, he says, brother, what are you doing? You're supposed to be praying. I said, I'm not Muslim. He says, and this is why they're praying. We're having this conversation. He's like, well, why are you here? I said, no, I want to be Muslim. He says, okay, I'm going to go pray. When I'm done, I'm going to come get you and take you to the imam. I says, okay. So I sit there and I'm watching them. This is the first time I've ever seen a Muslim pray. I've seen some videos on YouTube that night before, but this is my first time in real life. I'm like, wow, what is this? I'm amazed. As I said, there's rules. You qiyam, sujood, ruku, sujood, jalsa, and the other movements, tasneem, mashallah, all these movements that in Christianity you don't have. You just pray. There's no ahkam, there's no rules. So I was amazed. So afterwards, this man, he brought me to the imam, and he basically asked me the same thing. He said, what makes you want to become Muslim? Is anybody forcing you? And things like this. And I basically told him the same story that I'm telling to you guys. And that was it. And I accepted Islam, I believe it was the month of January 2012. 2012. And I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guiding me and for giving me this blessing there in which there is no blessing greater. What is greater than the blessing of Islam and Sunnah and Hidayah? ليس هناك نعم أعظم أكبر من هذه النعم. There's no blessing greater than these blessings of Islam and guidance and Iman and knowing who your Lord is and knowing what the paradise is so you can work for it and knowing what the hellfire is so that you can work against it. and knowing who your Lord is so you can worship Him. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for guiding us to Islam, and for guiding us to the Sunnah, and for guiding us to that which is good, and that which is the best thing that we can ever be given. And we'll end with that. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.